when I did hire a coach, it's like bringing on leverage. You're like adding brain power to yourself and to your organization. Here we are. We're live.
Are we live?
It sent me a notification.
Whoa, we are live in the group.
We are live.
I hope everyone is doing great. I know this is a surprise interview with a good friend, a great client, and someone who I've built a solid friendship over the last couple months. Really, I mean, since July? July of 2021.
It's been since July. I think it was June, actually, almost.
Beautiful.
I was going back through some old emails. I think it was June that this all started.
Yeah, I'm super curious about how we even connected, and I think it's a good success. Just a good testimonial from we have depth in our relationship, and kind of how that journey began to kind of what's kind of been happening in your life. So if we go July, August, September, October, November, December, January, so it's been like just close to eight
That's
months.
That's over half a year. That's a long time, man.
Damn, man!
It's kind of funny because yeah, it's your beautiful smile and an infectious laugh. It's kept me there.
That's it. Cool, man. Well, let me kind of introduce you. So this is Reuben. How do you say your last name again?
Takenaka.
Takenaka. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to mess it up. But Reuben has, so you joined my communication program back in June, and then you also joined my elite program, where I work with business owners and I help them scale their companies and really come on as like a business partner. And we strategize what are the future steps that is needed to build $1 million company, to build the dreams that you want to build in your life. I'm a big fan of coaching. I'm a big fan of accountability and even getting a different perspective. So, I think you've had many wins since June, and I want to showcase that. I want to show the world and show the group of, you aren't someone who stutters necessarily, but you understand the value in speaking with confidence, whether that's a leader with your employees or whether that's talking to clients and going through that process of dealing with rejection or dealing with different personalities. So before we kind of get into it, Reuben, if you want to kind of share to the group who you are and then even why or how you found me and how you even ended up here.
Yeah, totally. So I got a strong background in construction. That's basically what I've done my entire life. But it was kind of by default. So I spent a lot of time exploring different different jobs, different businesses. And then finally in 2020 decided I'm going to buckle down and build a business with construction. And then I've always kind of had a peripheral awareness of Daniel. Didn't actually know him personally. I always kind of looked at his haircut and I'm like, this guy is kind of too cool for me to talk to. to be honest, I'm like, this guy's probably some super polished prick or whatever. Turns out Daniel's the most personable, down to earth guy ever. And I think that's one big reason why our relationship has been able to have a lot of depth with that, which I've really appreciated that. I've always felt that you kind of were able to come alongside and understand where I was at and why I felt like I needed to do certain things and then kind of direct that. So, but yeah, I came to a point. It's funny you mentioned just before we kind of went live, you were talking about COVID and lockdowns and how that affected different people. For me, I think I definitely hit a point of complacency where it was like, I wasn't making things happen. And I sort of was like, how do I make things happen? And so I tried different business coaches, but my head wasn't in the game. And I was still getting business deals, luckily, fortunately, however you want to look at that. But I kind of botched some of those pitches and I was like, I'm not where I need to be. I'm not aligned. I'm not presenting well. And then I saw your ads and stuff and your Instagram page for Master Your Stutter by building confidence through public speaking. And I knew of you, I knew your background, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Daniel could help me figure this out, So we jumped on a Zoom call and it was fantastic, I didn't finish the Master Your Stutter program, but doing it, going through some of the exercises was enough to like flip the switch to where I was back on. And I felt like I think it was because I'd made a decision and I was committed. This is who I am and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a company. I have confidence in that. And when I'm here presenting to the client, I'm giving them good value. I'm the best guy to do this job. And then even just like some personal internal limiting beliefs about just being in front of people and speaking and presenting. One of my favorite things that you still say, even through the elite program, is smile, just smile. I think you said there's one time you would like go around your house just smiling. And it's true. Like there'll be times where I'm trying to like, oh, I need to be happy. I'm just going to smile at the wall, and it puts you in a better mood. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of how we met. And then it was sort of a natural progression from there into the elite program. And some of my big wins, obviously, I feel like it was largely through our work together. I was able to hit my first 6-figure revenue month, not just like barely 6 figures, but we launched into the 6-figure territory. And we're just working on repeating that over and over.
Cool. Well, one of the first things, so I want to say congratulations. That is a big deal, to hit over $100,000 in 1 month in revenue. And obviously as time goes on, we'll just hit bigger and bigger numbers. But right now, I think where we're kind of at is building the systems and the lead flow. And one thing I've realized about you, Reuben, is you take action, and you're teachable and coachable, and you listen. So I think it's a very vital thing. I think it's one of the reasons why you're successful. I was talking to actually Darren Cabell about this. And he was just saying, he's like, Reuben takes action pretty quickly. So I think that's a vital thing. But yeah, even just let's just talk about the communication program, because you joined the elite August, September-ish,
something like that. Yeah.
Now one of the biggest things, you didn't actually finish the public speaking program that I have, but you've said this many times, but just doing it lit a fire under you. And I think for a lot of people, they might go, well, you know what, I'm decent, I'm closing sales, I'm making money, or I feel like I speak pretty well. But talk about that decision of just like, I'm going to pay for it, I'm going to just enter it, I'm going to get onboarded, and what that kind of did for you. Because I think that's extremely, it's extremely vital when you make a decision, when you go, okay, you know what, enough with the thinking, I'm just going to do it. What did that do for you?
Totally. I think it comes back to identity, right? And how you see yourself. Kind of like more recently, we've been talking about Atomic Habits by James Clear, and like having identity-based habits. I think for me, it changed my identity because I was willing to do something, willing to do it, I think, committed to doing it, because obviously you put some money down, you show up to calls. And then secondly, being a part of a community where other people are doing it, it increases the believability, where it's like, oh, I actually can do this. And there's also, quite frankly, people who actually struggle with stuttering, and they're still here. They're giving it their very best. They're expecting to go and make sales and increase their businesses. And I'm like, okay, there's no excuse for me. I can definitely do this. So I think it's those kind of three things rolled into one: just the identity shift, the commitment, and then the influence of other people.
Huge, man, huge. So kind of talk about some wins, working with myself, just to kind of give some people your the benefits that maybe you've taken from it. Because I can sit here and tell you all the different things that how well Reuben's business and life kind of improved. But from your perspective, what were some main things? Obviously hitting a 130K month in October, which is a huge deal. What else from your perspective were some wins working with me for like the last 7-8 months?
Yeah, totally. Or are you thinking more like on the public speaking side, or more on the business side? Any and all of it? Everything.
Yeah. Like to mindset, to even like, I don't know, relationships, socially, just everything. Because I think that's how I operate. Like, I just don't want you to become a good speaker. I just want you to make money. I want your whole life getting better. And I think you're a good example of that. So yeah, go ahead.
Totally, dude. I like how you kind of said that. Like, I want your whole life to get better. And I feel like with you, like you're a big person, you've got a lot of, you got a big personality, and something you said on our last call was, if you're not feeling good, what is the point of it? And obviously not like feeling good as in, if you haven't had 3 drinks kind of feeling good, what's the point? Or like, if you're slaving away for a money target, have you improved anything? If you had 100K month, is $1 million month going to make you feel how you need to feel?
Mhm.
And that shifted things a little bit for me. So that I would say that was a big win, is just remembering, hey, I want to develop my lifestyle to feel good as I go. Whether that's getting enough, for me, that's getting enough sleep, get enough sleep to feel good. So I'm happy to be sending this email. I'm happy to meeting with this client. I'm not like dragging myself there because I want to close this deal, and then your kind of bad energy is leaking into that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just kind of your whole persona.
Yeah.
I think that you've somehow infused your persona into your entire business really, really well. And it's kind of intangible. I don't know if I can quantify it, but it definitely, like, it influences me a lot. I think another illustration of that would be, I came to you with some questions about how should I present my proposals, and you're like, yeah, like, honestly, that looks pretty good, man. Like, people are buying you. They're not buying the perfect font or the perfect layout or whatever it is on your PDF that you're sending to them. And I'm like, right, that's totally true. Because in my first year, a lot of my biggest clients and my biggest projects, they came from just people that I knew. They knew me. They knew who I was. They knew my character. They knew my work ethic. And they're like, Reuben seems like a good guy to do this project. It doesn't matter what document I'm sending them.
Mhm.
So I guess it comes back to intent, to attitude,
Yeah.
and you've really reinforced that with me, and it's been massively beneficial.
I love it, man. Even just talk about because for some people, like getting a business coach, it's like, but I understand business, I understand life, and even like on a confidence and communication level, it's like, yeah, but I'm pretty confident, or my communication is all right. Talk about that idea of why, like, what's one of the biggest reasons why you invested even into a coach? Because you from maybe people watching this live or watching this video, they go, oh well, Reuben seems like he knows what's going on in life. Like he
Yeah,
seems pretty good, right?
yeah,
Why get a coach? Why
totally.
get someone? Yeah,
It's a great question, and I'm a pretty independent person,
yeah,
and I feel so I'm pretty independent. I can be a little bit cheap, and I can look at something and think, okay, that I see what's going on here. I can figure that out, do it myself, and not have to pay for it.
yeah.
But there is just an element where um, you want to make things easy for yourself. So it's almost like, if you're good, you're like, it doesn't matter how hard it is, I can still do it. You miss out on things being easy. It's kind of like, if you're lazy, you're always looking for things to be a way to make things easier. That's almost like a benefit that unfortunately I don't seem to have. But when I did hire a coach, it's like bringing on leverage. You're like adding brain power to yourself and to your organization. And it might seem cliche, but nobody does things alone.
Mm,
And when I mean, you've built your team as fast as you can. I think, you're like, okay, how soon can I add somebody to do this? How soon can I take this off my plate? And same thing, it's how soon can I can't pay to add a board member, but I can bring someone of Daniel's caliber onto, I can pay him, and he is going to help me make executive decisions. He's going to look at my cash flow. He's going to help me with the marketing. And when my brain is going in a million different places at once, he can say, all right, let's figure out what's the most important thing now, get that next step done, and then the next step. And it could take you weeks or months or years to kind of process that yourself. But a business coach is, you're basically hiring someone to your board of directors who you're never going to be able to afford to put on payroll. But they're like, well, I'll offer you this coaching package. And, the value is incredible, right?
yeah. Well, it could be equity in a company, right?
Totally.
And you are, at the end of the day, you own your own business yourself, right? You don't have
100%.
a partner, right?
No.
And and at some level, I tell this to everyone. I go, your success is now my success. I'm part of the same pressure, dude. Like, put that on me. And I feel like, and that's why, it's not like we've done a month together or 30 days, and it's like, let's do an interview. It's like, there's been 8 months of consistency. And I like to say I'm a fairly consistent person. When you work with me, I may charge more, but I can be relied upon. I think
Absolutely.
that's extremely important, especially in coaching or especially in getting help. The last thing you want, because I know you had someone that you're working with before who was obviously not the same price as me, but it's just a different tone. It's
Very,
almost like
very different. Yeah.
it's almost like you pay for what you get. And that's, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but I think that's extremely vital, of having that reliability and that consistency is what allows you to trust that you're on the right path right now. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but I think that's extremely vital, especially when you're getting help. Even if you're struggling with your speech, it's like the cheapest thing always isn't the best thing.
No, definitely not.
It's like you're buying a car here, where it's like, what's the cheapest price? I'm not a used car salesman. It's when we get a job done, what is that worth to you? Like, if your business does $5 million, what is that worth to you? If you have more clarity and you're less stressed and you're able to think better, what is that worth to you? And I don't know if you want to add to that, but I think it's a big conversation that a lot of people don't have, because it's almost like we're trained as a society is what's the best deal,
Yeah.
Do you
No,
want to
totally. I
add anything
think
to that?
like people constantly look at things. They like to look at it in terms of a trade, right? I'm trading, $500 for this bicycle. Well, is this bicycle really worth $500? Wheels, some rubber, blah 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 blah. Or it's like I'm trading $500 for 10 years of joy, fresh air, mental health benefits, cardio benefits. Yeah, that's definitely worth the $500. I'm gonna buy that bike right now. Or you
Yeah.
can look at high caliber coach. Well, what are we getting here? We're getting that, this many calls and some book recommendations or whatever it might be. Or it's, I'm paying this money to have somebody who's available by text or phone, basically anywhere. They're in my corner. They, like you said, my success is their success. They truly believe that. They want to see you do well. And if you're trying to go from a million to 5 or to 10 million, you can't just look at it from, am I going to trade X amount to solve this immediate problem? You have to look at it in a context of, is this going to get me to my $10 million goal sooner? Or, maybe I wouldn't get there at all. Um, and I'm going to have a lot more fun along the way, make less mistakes.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier. Yeah, I think that kind of sums it up. Easier,
Okay.
faster, less headaches, more fun.
Cool, dude. Cool, dude. Well, listen, I love this, and I'm honored to be in this position, and I'm excited, and I hope this relationship that we have lasts for a long time, because I want to be part of your success for years to come. The final thing that I kind of want to end this off on is, what is your 2 cents to everyone watching this right now, whether they own a business, whether they struggle with speech and they want to become a better communicator, or they're an engineer and they want to do better at speaking with colleagues. What is your 2 cents to them from your perspective after working with me for 8 months? And what words of advice do you have for them? Yeah.
It's I mean, obviously I want to say just sign up with Daniel. That's easy. That's an easy one to say. But I think two things I wish that I've always done that I only really started to do this year is, number one, do a better job of writing things out. Like, if you're thinking about a decision, actually write it out. What are the pros and cons of this? How does it align with my long-term goals? And then when you do something, do it and dive in, commit, follow through, and reap everything out of it that you can. I feel like I've missed out on opportunities and a lot of, richness or fulfillment in opportunities that I did have, because I just made a decision too quickly, didn't think about it properly. Maybe I said, yes, I'm going to do this, but because I didn't think through it and value it the right way, I did not reap the full benefits of it. I didn't value it enough. And then the other thing is, once you do it, get in there, commit, do it. So if you are thinking about a business coach, first of all, make sure, I think, that you have your goals set up. You're in a business you want to do. and you know that you want to take it to the next level or the next 3 levels or 10 levels, and then say, all right, we're going to make an informed decision, hire the right coach, and we're going to commit and we're going to do it until it's successful. That's my 2 cents. I feel like that was more like 10 cents, but that's
Well, I don't know if I haven't really checked the live, but if you guys have any questions, answer down below. Reuben's been a great client of mine, and
is there anyone watching right now?
Yeah, I think we might have a few. I think people just kind of jump on and off, right? So
do they have questions?
I don't think there's any questions right now. So yeah, there's a few people watching on live. Nothing I see right now. But with that being said, not that I want this to be a long interview, Reuben, I appreciate your time. I hope you keep kicking butt. I'm sure I'll see you on our next call next week. But with that being said, I hope you do another interview in the future so you have even better results. With that being said, guys, appreciate you all. And Reuben, stay golden.
Beautiful. Love it. Good chat, Daniel.
Bye.
Peace. We'll catch you later.
See ya.